Augmentative and alternative communication technologies, or AAC, can literally be life-changing for people who have severe speech and physical impairments and their conversation partners. But we know from prior research and from the AAC abandonment rate that it can be difficult to know how to incorporate these technologies into everyday conversations. In this video, I share two key insights that might be helpful for teachers and therapists in translating the research into practice. These relate to acknowledging the roles we take as conversation partners and supporting opportunities for play. Based on video data involving children with severe speech and physical impairments, adults, and AAC in the classroom, our research showed that often adults had control over conversations in the classroom. To give an example, adults would structure the way conversations happened by teaching children how to use the AAC device operationally. Here's a clip.
I have a quick question I wanted to ask you, and I thought maybe I'm just going to go back to your categories, and I'm going to go to your feelings, describing words.
In this clip, we see that the adult asks the child a question, but has directed the child to answer by responding to a small set of choices that they have organised the question around.
I'm just going to go back to your categories, and I'm going to go to your feelings, describing words.
We found that these practices limited children's agency in using AAC, as they stopped the child from being able to respond in unexpected ways or to initiate communication for themselves. We know from prior interactional research that conversations have certain patterns to them. They are orderly, and this is also the case for conversations that involve people and AAC, where speaking partners often explicitly use strategies to clarify or signal their understanding. So what can we do to support children's agency in using AAC on their own terms? As teachers and therapists, one way of achieving this is to be mindful of the roles we are adopting in conversations. Are we overly testing a child's linguistic or operational competence? Do we assume we know the answer to a well-rehearsed question? Are there opportunities for the child to ask questions themselves? Digital AAC devices can be a tool for both communication and learning. Supporting learning is just as much about giving time for children to explore and play around with a device as much as it is about providing instructional support. Being mindful about the roles we take as communication partners is important, as it allows us to regulate the amount of support we're given, which in turn can give a child more autonomy over using the AAC device. The second key insight I'd like to share is about supporting opportunities for play. Based on observations in the classroom and playground, we found that through play and playfulness, as well as expressing their likes and interests, the children in our study were able to create light-hearted interjections within adult-structured conversations. Through wit and humour, children showed that they were able to skillfully make others stop and listen, and could demonstrate the skillful ways that they used their communication resources that were available to them for drawing others into what they had to say. In one example of this, one child participant in our study used jokes to build in light-hearted exchanges within everyday conversations. By setting up witty interjections to the teacher's question, the child showed that he was an expert in using his communication book. During morning registration, when asked by his teacher to find his photo and written name card, the child chose another child's name, then swiftly pointed to an icon in his book that represented the phrase "just joking," before then choosing his own name. Here, the child shows that he's skilled at using his paper-based communication book in an unprompted way. This insight highlights how important it is to support play as a way of advancing children's interactions, opportunities for exploration and learning. One way of taking this forward is to design interventions where the focus of a teaching or therapy goal is on strengthening participation in playful activities rather than teaching a functional skill. This might include building in opportunities for children to access play that they don't typically have exposure to, like a certain game in the playground, a new conversation environment, like a new kind of joke, or varied play partners, as well as making sure that we are regulating the amount and forms of external support and being mindful of the social dynamics of the interaction so that it remains positive and child-centred. In this video, I've shared 2 key ideas for translating research into practice by considering the roles we take as conversation partners and supporting opportunities for play. If you'd like to hear more about this research and to read about the project through our publications, please visit the website smallspeaks.com. Thanks for watching.